All right, today we're going to talk about dividing monomials. So the rule for dividing monomials, use the quotient rule. So x to the a divided by x to the b is the same thing as x to the a minus b. So you're going to subtract the exponent. All right, we'll start out simple. So x to the 5th divided by x cubed is x to the 5 minus 3 power, which is x squared. K to the 12th divided by k squared is the same thing as k to the 12 minus 2 power, or k to the 10th. M to the 3rd divided by m to the 3rd is m to the 3 minus 3 power, or m to the 0 power. Anything to the 0 power is 1. A to the 6th, b to the 4th divided by a squared b cubed is a to the 6 minus 2 power, b to the 4 minus 3 power, which gives me a to the 4th b. P to the 7th, q to the 16th divided by p to the 4th, q to the 12th is p to the 7 minus 4 power, q to the 16 minus 12 power, p to the 3rd, q to the 4th. Number 6, x to the 20th, y to the 9th, z squared divided by x to the 5th, y to the 9th, z. So I have x to the 20 minus 5 power, y to the 9 minus 9 power, z to the 2 minus 1 power. So I have x to the 15th, this is canceled, z. All right, when you have a coefficient involved, you divide the coefficients as usual, and then you simplify the variables using the quotient rule that we just used. So 6 divided by 2 is 3. X to the 4 minus 3 is 3x. 14 divided by 7 is 2. So that's r to the 2 minus 1, s to the 2 minus 1. So we have 2rs. Negative 36c squared d to the 5th divided by 4c squared d to the 3rd is negative 9c to the 2 minus 2 power d to the 5 minus 3 power. So I have negative 9b squared. Negative 15 x to the 6th y to the 5th z divided by negative 3 x to the 5th y to the 3rd. Negative 15 divided by 3 is 5. X to the 6 minus 5, y to the 5 minus 3, and z. So I have 5x, y squared, z. 4n to the 5th divided by 8n is 1 half n to the 5 minus 1 power. That stays up in the numerator for now. That's going to change when we get to negative exponents. So this will be, you can write it like this, 1 half n to the 4th. 36 m to the 9th n to the 5th over 54 m cubed n squared becomes, if you reduce it like a fraction, 2/3 m to the 9 minus 3 power n to the 5 minus 2. You can write it like this, 2/3 m, let me go back, m to the 6th n to the 3rd. All right, now we're going to mix everything up that we've learned already. So always look at the numerator, then look at the denominator. Like 13, we're going to have to use the power of the power. So 3x to the 5th, everything squared, divided by 27x cubed. So let's take 3 squared x to the 5 times 2 power. This will give me 9x to the 10th. So I have 9x to the 10th divided by 27x cubed. So I have 1/3 x to the 10 minus 3 power, or 1/3 x to the 7. Same thing with 14. I have 2 cubed, a to the 2 times 3 power, b to the 4 times 3 power, and that will give me 8 a to the 6th, b to the 12th. Now we're going to divide. So 8 divided by 4 is 2. A to the 6 minus 3 power, b to the 12 minus 7 power gives me 2a cubed, b to the 5th. One thing at a time. So 15, let's simplify the denominator first. I have 4 squared, w squared, b squared. So I have 12w to the 9th, b to the 4th, over 16 w squared, b squared, which will give me 3/4 w to the 9 minus 2, v to the 4 minus 2, which will give me 3/4 w to the 7th, v squared. 16. Both of these need to be simplified. So I have 2 to the 4th, c to the 4th, d to the 4 times 4 power, which will give me 16 c to the 4th, d to the 16th. Here I have 2 squared, c to the 2 times 2 power, d to the 3 times 2 power, which will give me 4 c to the 4th, d to the 6th. 16 divided by 4 is 4. C to the 4 minus 4 power. There's a C in there. D to the 16 minus 6 power. So that's 4. C's canceled. D to the 10th. There you go. All right. Moving on. So this means we take everything to the third power, both the numerator and the denominator. So I'm going to take 2 cubed m to the 4 times 3 power is m to the 12th, n to the 2 times 3 power, which is n to the 6th, divided by 4 cubed m to the 6th, n to the 3rd. So 2 cubed is 8. 4 cubed is 64. So 8 64ths is 1/8 m to the 12 minus 6 power, n to the 6 minus 3 power, which will give us 1/8 m to the 6th, n to the 3rd. Same with 18. Everything is squared. So 12 squared, k to the 5 times 2 power is k to the 10th. 15 squared, k squared. So that ends up being 144, because 12 times 12 is 144. 15 squared is 225. So I'm going to simplify that to be 16 over 25. And I have k to the 10 minus 2 power equals 16 over 25, k to the 8th. Same here. I am going to square everything. 4 squared, a squared, b to the 4th, because it's 2 times 2. 5 squared, a squared, b squared. So 4 squared is 16. 5 squared is 25. So let me back up. So I have 16 25ths. The a's are canceled. B to the 4 minus 2 power. So I have 16 25ths b squared. Number 20, you have to multiply first. So I have 9 times 4 is 36. Now we're going to add the exponents because we're multiplying. So I have x to the 5 plus 1, y to the 6 plus 1, which will give me 36 x to the 6th y to the 7th divided by 6x squared y to the 4th. Now this is 6x to the 6 minus 2, y to the 7 minus 4, which gives me 6x to the 4th, y to the 3rd. Okay, so you can go ahead and take a shot at 21 and 22. They're the same thing that we've been doing, 21 and 22. You can stop the video. The answer to 21 is negative p squared, and the answer to 22 is 50 ab to the 4th. All right, let's do 23. We got a lot going on for 23. We got to power this out first. I have 2 squared x to the 6th times 3 cubed y to the 12th. So that's 4x to the 4th times 27y to the 12th. When you simplify that, I have 108 x squared, or x to the 6th, y to the 12th, divided by 12 x to the 4th, y to the 5th. 108 divided by 12 is 9. X to the 6 minus 4 power is x squared. Y to the 12 minus 5 power is y to the 7th. You try number 24. You have to power first, then multiply, and then divide. I want to point out one thing about 24 is make sure when you square this, negative 4 squared is negative 4 times negative 4, so that's positive 16. All right, let's move on to 25.